Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Sky Blue Fans TV. On Sunday edition, of course. We're a bit thin on the ground tonight. We've got no Miles. We have got Claudio and we have got Vicky joining us. She's running a little bit behind, but she will be joining us. But we also got a Millwall fan, Mickey from the Millwall podcast. He'll be joining us around 8 o'clock to discuss our next fixture, of course, on Wednesday night when we travel to Millwall. That's an important game after our fantastic 3-0 victory over Blues, which we're going to discuss now in detail. And remember, we're second in the table, top scorers in the championship, and we're still unbeaten. So that's not a bad weekend, really, for all you Sky Blue fans out there. I'm sure we've been all enjoying it. I have, certainly. And it's something to go back to work with Monday morning. If you work with any Birmingham fans, I look forward to seeing them all with their squirmy faces on Monday morning. So let's get Claudio in. Good evening, Claudio.
Evening, Ken.
Good evening. Good? Yeah, not too bad, mate. You work with a few Birmingham fans, don't you?
I work with a couple, yes. So it's going to be interesting.
Same as me, yes. So it'll be interesting to...
Yeah, because on Friday, one of the lads came up to me and said, "Oh, you want to see what I did to his bench?" I says, "What did you do?" He says, "I put PUSB on it." I said, "Well, I hope that doesn't bite you on the bum come Monday morning." And now it looks like we're taking the mick if we get there before him. So I hope... So, yeah. But all good, whatever. You know.
Yeah, it's a fantastic weekend, wasn't it? It was a great weekend, and I know I'm not always a believer in these early kickoffs, but it's always nice to get an early kickoff and get your points in the bag before everybody else plays, if you like, so you can relax the rest of the afternoon and watch the results come in. And well, that puts it up to obviously second place. Results went forwards, I think, over the weekend as well, didn't they, Claudio? So. You know, we cemented second place, really, so which is really good. Looking forward to the Millwall game, of course, on Wednesday. We'll have the Millwall, the Millwall man, Mickey, from the Millwall podcast. He'll be coming joining us about 8 o'clock tonight, so he's going to give us his views about Millwall so far this season. Of course, they're the only team to beat us so far this season in the league, albeit being the League Cup, and a completely different team. So it'll be interesting to... be up against them again on Wednesday with a completely different team. See how we get on. Right, let's move on. We're just still waiting for Vicky to join us. Hopefully she'll be joining us very soon. We've got no Jack either because Jack's getting ready to go on holiday, really, to Japan. So he's packing all his suitcases.
He's on a scouting mission, trying to find another Sakamoto. I've one on the left wing.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's get into it then. Because team selection was a big shock, wasn't there, Claudio, on Saturday morning when we got the team news come through. No Jack Rudoni. We sort of half expected Mason Clark to be out, which he was, still suffering from his injury. But we certainly didn't expect Jack Rudoni to be out, did we?
No, and I remember being outside the ground with Jack and that we were chatting about it, and we kind of all went, "Oh no, where's the goals going to come from? Who's going to create anything?" It's we're a bit down because we didn't really know what to expect from Birmingham, and as it happens, everybody stepped up, didn't they, yesterday? So that was great, but it was a shock. And the thing is, there was nothing. See, nothing comes out of the camp anymore. This is what we've been talking about. How they wanted to keep it a tight ship and not let tight-lipped whatever, and not let anything come out, because I think there's far too many little rumours as coming up on the Thursdays and Fridays 2 days before the game, or even on the morning of the game, we've been told what the lineup was and all the rest of it. So they've definitely put a kibosh on that, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely, because we don't get any information now. We used to get little snippets of who's playing, who might be playing, who might not be playing, but we don't get anything of that now. And
to be honest, Ken, what's the point of us knowing 2 hours early? Because it's not going to make any difference. Because we're getting to hear it 2 hours early, the chances are the opposition might be getting to hear it as well, because some guy used to put it on Twitter. Well, that's not very good, is it?
No, that's right. That's right.
Ridiculous to do that.
Yeah. And let's, before we go on, let's just remind you of this, because this was a little message you sent in our group. This was Claudio before we kicked off. Draw at best today. No flair in this lineup. No depth. And I'll be amazed if we win today. This was what so just let you know his predict, how what he thought before we kicked off. He had no faith. He had no faith in the team at all.
I think I was expressing what everybody thought at the time because it was a bit of a shock. Well, the funny bit is someone just said "Great Show and History podcast" while at the urinals. That was
well, that was another bit of the. And Jack was right. He says, "Quote for the show when we win." So Jack was confident. I thought I'll get that little snippet and put it and show everybody what you said. So that's what Claudia thought before we kicked off.
I did predict a 2-1, didn't I?
Yeah, well, okay, that was before we knew the team. But we all were a bit. I was a bit nervous, obviously, with no Rudoni in the team because he's the guy that seems to make us click, doesn't he? But fair play. Torp came in, played further up, didn't he? That number 10 role where Rudoni normally plays, and I thought he did well.
I think Eccles was the one who's playing further forward, Ken.
Well, Eccles as well. Yeah, that's right. Eccles and Thorpe, but both came in obviously, and Eccles especially, to be honest, because he's been out for a while with an injury, so he did really well. Coming in, and he hadn't had much game time at all this season. So I thought his performance, certainly in the first half, was fantastic. And that first half, Claudio, I thought we coped really well with them, didn't we? They didn't really put a glove on us.
Well, I rewatched it this morning. Caroline went out shopping, so I thought I'd put it on. What else is there to do on a Sunday afternoon? And apart from rewatch a great win. Going back to the very first game of the season of the championship, Birmingham City played Ipswich, and I remember we came on the following day, or the 2 days later after we played Hull, going, how are we going to match that intensity? Because Birmingham looked great that evening, didn't they? They were so strong.
Yeah.
They absolutely battered Ipswich. I think they ended up being a draw in the end, didn't it? I think. But we just thought, how are we going to match that? But then we played against Hull, and we thought, oh my, that's just terrible compared to what we've just seen.
Yeah.
So it just shows you how, in just 7 games, how it's changed already. The season. I think we looked so in control. Rewatching it, and I don't know what their manager saw. He was watching a totally different game. No wonder why they struggled. If he thought they were in the game, even before we scored, I didn't really feel under pressure, which was what was weird. It wasn't what I expected. It was comfortable. I mean, neither team did look like they were going to score until we did score, but it didn't. I didn't feel threatened by them at all. So I just thought that first half we just controlled it, and in fact we controlled the whole game. But definitely that first half, I didn't have any fear whatsoever. After about 10 minutes, I thought they're offering nothing.
No,
and they've spent 20
I was
million.
shocked.
Well, they've spent 20 million on a forward. I'm thinking why? Because I've not seen anything from him yet this season, to be honest, and all the clips I've seen of him to warrant that money. So I just, to me, they just look like a bang average mid-table championship side, and we just had to deal with them.
Yeah,
and I think we did.
No, we did. There's no doubt about that. I was shocked. We did because they didn't really get forward. They didn't look like they were going to cause us any problems whatsoever. And I think the defence had probably their easiest game of the season.
Well, the outlook ball was to Tamari Gray, and I've got to say, Jay De Silva's turned into Cafu in this season. What's going on there?
He was outstanding.
He was outstanding, I thought, yesterday. I thought he was our man of the match anyway. And on the other side, they had the real danger, which was Kumas. I've not seen many players who could run as fast as Milan, and he'd got the pace. He'd got him for pace, And I thought every time he got the ball out to him, that's when they looked dangerous. Luckily, the lad was having a bit of a mare as well. He couldn't seem to get hold of it or bring it down or get it under control when he got on the ball. But you're right, Ken. Defensively, also what played into our hands was Dykes playing up front, because I didn't realise, I'd missed their team news. I didn't realise their guy was injured in the warm-up. So he started.
No, I didn't either until afterwards, to be honest.
And what I thought was, well, surely against Thomas and Kitchen, you'd be better off with the Japanese fella who's short, fast, agile. Lyndon Dykes. That's That's so easy for Thomas and Kitchen to deal with.
Yeah.
Big bloke up front. Them offering us nothing was down to us. We've got to say it. I thought we were just dominant, to be honest.
Yeah, and some of the comments that their managers come out with afterwards is amazing, really, blaming the sending off and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, I think even if they had kept 11 players on the pitch, it would probably been the same scoreline because
we took the lead when it was 11v11, and even after we scored the goal, they still didn't threaten our goal, did they?
No, they didn't.
To be honest, I reckon if they hadn't got a guy sent off, that could have just played out as a 1-0, if I'm honest. Because they didn't have a shot on target all game. So there you go. They weren't going to score, were they?
No, they didn't look like they were going to get anywhere near us. Good evening, Vicky.
Good evening, Ken. You okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Did you enjoy yesterday? I did look down and see you, but you were busy with all the action, so you didn't look. I didn't get you to give me away. You normally give me away from. But yeah, that's enjoyable. So what did you think the first half? I mean, obviously the goal, Kitchen was up there. Good shot from Kitchen, wasn't it? And a parry from our ex-goalkeeper Allsop. Couldn't keep hold of it. It was a good turn from Kitchen, to be fair. Good shot.
Decent shot especially for a defender, isn't it? I watched the game back again on Sky last night, and they were saying that like what a good shot that is for a defender. It's the sort that especially the sort of swivel. It's the sort of thing you maybe expect from one of your attacking players. So yeah, Kitchen did well there, and we were just more live to it, weren't we? Like the follow up for Sante.
Yeah, he's all seemed to be there at the right place at the right time, wasn't he? Again. Yeah. So I thought. Yeah, and I thought Sante, he got man of the match up in the lounges. We'll share that video a bit later on. But
there was a fair few shouts for man of the match.
Yeah, we were just saying that we were just talking about De Silva. I mean, Claudio.
Yeah.
I agree. De Silva, I thought probably his best game of the season by far. I thought he played really well. But as I say, a lot of the players played well. But I was disappointed in Birmingham. Well, how disappointed were you in Birmingham? Did you expect more?
Yeah, no, I did expect more. I thought that. I mean, for two reasons. One, obviously, they're a team on a sort of riding the crest of a good season last season, so you expect them to come with some sort of confidence and positivity. I mean, when we spoke to Claire on Thursday, that's obviously how she felt they were going. But also the fact it's a local derby, you expect their players didn't really turn up. I didn't think. If I was a Birmingham fan, I'd be really disappointed. But I was surprised. I was expecting a tougher test. And I think we were professional and players played well, but it was never difficult, was it? The Birmingham just offered very little, and so we could just go through the paces really.
Yeah,
it was like the reverse of the fixture we had at their place in that April game. We lost 3-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where we never turned up, and they did exactly the same as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And in both games, it was because the team who won 3-0 made sure the other team couldn't play, and I think that's what happened.
Yeah,
I don't know what game their manager was watching though. Their manager just his post-match interview. It's just crazy talk.
Some of the comments he was coming out with. I mean, he was looking to blame on the sending off. How did you see the sending off? Because I thought it's a booking. He'd already been booked. So as far as I'm concerned, it's another yellow card. So he tried to pull his shirt.
Well, it wasn't that. He stepped on his foot. You can see it on the replay. He actually tripped him up.
Yeah.
So anywhere on the pitch, it's a booking.
Yeah.
And it just so happened he made a clumsy challenge beforehand. So unlucky.
I'd be more frustrated. I was saying to Kevin, I sit by, like, if that was a Coventry player, I'd be like fuming that you're on a yellow and you've just been so clumsy, and when it was unnecessary, because I don't think Hadji was getting on that ball.
No, because I think looking at back on telly, there was a Birmingham player coming across to pick the ball up, the loose ball, and it would probably gone back. Hadji wouldn't have got it. So
it was very similar to Liam Kitchen at Blackburn away, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was chasing back and he caught the guy, and the ref did, well, that was a straight red, I think, from memory. But he deserved to go. And there weren't many complaints, was there, really?
Not really, not from their players. Just obviously the managers, obviously watching a different game when he seems to think he was a bit, some of the comments.
I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I actually thought we played better against Norwich, to be honest. We created way more against Norwich. We just couldn't score any goals. So you could kind of say, yes, it was a good performance. We won 3-0. They had the man sent off, blah, blah, blah. But we just didn't. That's all we had to do on the day to beat them.
Yeah, and considering we were probably without our best player, Rudoni, as well, which, you know, he's always the creator, isn't he? And has been certainly in the last few matches, and he's a big miss when he's out. And we didn't really miss him, did we? To be honest.
No, I think it's another game as well where no one scored from open play against us. This is a massive factor, I think. Now we're not actually letting. I mean, there were some balls went in the box. We're doing a lot better work outside of our penalty area now to stop players getting into our box.
Yeah,
and it's showing. I think it's showing. It's a massive improvement. Whether or not we can keep it going, that's another thing. It's only 7 matches. Is it now? 7 games, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said at the start of the show, I mean, we're second in the table, championship top goal scorers. You know, and we're even our, you know, Thorpe and Hadji are up there with the league top goal scorers as well, aren't they? And of course, we're still unbeaten, so we can't really make it. It's not a bad start to the season, and I think
I find it a bit remarkable. I'm in a bit of shock actually, because I didn't expect us to be second after. Well, I say that, but I mean, I was predicting at the start of the season. I can't see why I can't win most of our games at the start of the season. So,
looking at the fixture list, we all thought, all wins that could be.
Well, we all thought we'd have 12 points after the first 4 games anyway.
Yeah, we all know it's not that easy.
Yeah, exactly. So we are doing, I think, kind of what we really expected. But being Cov fans, you don't want to say it, do you? You play it down a bit.
And that point away at Leicester last week looks even better now. After you get a point away from home and then go and follow it up with 3 points.
Well, I think we all said it last week, didn't we? Get the point there, win at home, cracking 2 games, that is.
Yeah.
Against, excellent.
So, I think as well, like throwing in a little cliche, because I don't know if cliche man's on tonight, but throwing in a little cliche, it's like you said, Claudio, the defending's better, and this is a lot of fine margins in games, isn't it? We're picking up points and like not throwing away games because defensively we're just doing a better job, and that was always the issue. We've goal scoring. I mean, in recent seasons, we've always had stats that put us at the sort of top end from an attacking perspective, but we were just throwing away too many points with defensive mistakes, and that's the thing that's really changed this season. That's sort of just turned some of those results that last season we probably would have thrown away, like maybe 2 points when we've won, or thrown away a draw and lost the game. Like all those little things are just making that slight difference, and it's just those fine margins, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, let's look at a few comments in. Then we'll discuss the second half in a minute. We've got a few comments coming up. Claudia, do you want to put them on?
Yeah, Paul Cuttiff said, great result when we had the Magic injured. We were not at our best. BCFC are not what they think they are, and the manager will not last long, but a good, strong performance and credit to Sims. Rich T, was their manager watching the same match? I don't think he was.
No.
Robert Mason. Abby of the panel, see Davis. Any of the panel, see Davis post-match interview. It was pitiful. Brum fans agree, seen it as something between a laughing stock or you're out of your depth. Get out of our club. I listened to West Midland Radio phoning this morning. I thought I listened to their version. It's a bit weird because obviously they cover all the games, don't they? But one guy came on from Birmingham and says, I don't understand what the fuss was about because the first half was really even and there was nothing in it. Well, there was nothing in it apart from you couldn't get a shot on goal. You know, it's just sometimes you don't need to be winning 3-0 to be in control of a match. And we've had away games like that in the past where we've gone somewhere and we just never looked like we're going to score. Derby away last season, point in fact.
Yeah.
You don't have to be absolutely useless, but if the other team's slightly better than you, that's it. Rounds of possibility. Our stats are insane. Love to hear them from Jack tonight. He's having a night off. But we got some insane stats later on. We'll show you from Mr. Grimes.
Yes.
Rich T. Quite concerned when I saw the team line up, but credit to those who came in. The whole team performed with 100% fighting spirit. But we've all said, haven't we, in the past, that you can cope with one coming in and doing a job. We'd struggle when you got the Carabao Cup team out there. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And I thought Josh did a really good job. Absolutely great job. You know,
Considering he hadn't had much game time this season, has he? He's been out.
Yeah, now he's got an extra bone in his leg, which is a bit weird.
yeah, bizarre injury that was.
But I thought he did what he had to do and did it well. That's all you can ask for. Was impressed with De Silva, says Rhymes of Possibility. Have no idea what it is in the water at Brighton, but can I have some? I thought the atmosphere was electric again, like yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, well, as you know, according to my watch, I died twice. That was bizarre. When the lad next to me said, whatever you do, don't press that button, with the SOS button. Get the emergency services up here. I've got no idea why it's going off. I thought my heartbeat went up to 98 in a game where it was comfortable. That's worrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember Southampton away in the cup when we went down there, and I said to Luke at one stage, I'm going to have to sit down here because I'm getting palpitations. It's going a bit mad here. I could feel it. I don't know why. I was getting, Mind, it was a bit crowded in that away, and I think that's what it was. I was getting a bit claustrophobic, I think. Anyway, who'd have thought I'd say that, Ken? Claustrophobic in a cov end.
Yes.
How times have changed.
Years
ago, you'd be going, I'm over here.
Yeah.
Evening, guys, says Mark Patman. I kept looking at the table. Can't believe we're second in the league. Wow, can we go top by Christmas? And I don't know you guys. I did the same. I had to look and think, we're second. We're actually second.
Yeah. Well, results went for us, didn't they, as well? There's a couple of draws. Middlesbrough even drew, didn't they? So,
yeah, it reminded me of that game where I think a few years ago, we drew at Burton 0-0 away, and we went top by drawing 0-0, which you think, what we're doing top with that shocking display. Dave Sports photos. There's been talk about a museum. Now we own the stadium. I would like to see Gary Mabbott's kneecap on display. I'm sure he would agree. We might have it donated posthumously, but either way works. We could get it moulded, couldn't we? That'd be good. Did anybody see the Arsenal game today?
Yes, I was watching it. What do you think of the penalty? Because it was.
It's a penalty.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it was a penalty, and I can't believe they've actually. Well,
and I'll also say Newcastle should have had a penalty as well with that handball.
Yeah, definitely, because the hand was clearly up in the air, wasn't it?
Do we really want to go to the Premier League and have VAR? Autism Monkey, great result Saturday. Millwall away won't be easy as wide as that was. The most pleasing thing for me was winning the battles all over the pitch.
Yeah.
Dave Sports photos. I think he's in a good mood. He's not mentioned Alan yet in 2 posts. Museum. I would also have the City squad singing "Go For It" on Blue Peter on a loop. The younger generation need to know about our darkest days and understand that this can never be repeated. To be fair, some of them do know our darkest days.
Yes.
It's not that long ago. What makes me proud? Once again, first in, last out, proper committed to the cause. Yes. Finn says, up we go, Cov City, up we go.
Is this a song?
Up we go. Is this a song, is it?
Yeah, go on, sing it. Sing it.
I can't sing it.
Up we go, Cov City, up we go.
Gaston Legrand, let's have some more fireworks. Like Sky did that, didn't they? I'll tell you what, I was happy. It was a bit chilly, wasn't it, in that stand? I'm not used to that sort of chillness. And it warmed me up a bit. Nearly took my eyebrows off and all, but still. Peter Doolan, think Coventry just outplayed Birmingham, wanted it more. The red card made a difference, but we were already better than them.
Yeah.
I think
I think we would have won the game regardless of the red card. I just don't think Birmingham were up for it. Simple as that.
I actually think that's the main thing that Frank's brought along. I think we had a decent core of players, didn't we? I mean, we'd seen that they'd done relatively well. There was a FA Cup semi-final, a playoff semi-final, all that sort of stuff. So the core of the players was decent, but we just had issues with inconsistency and defensiveness. But I actually think one of the main things that Frank's brought in is that that level of what you have to do to win week in, week out. His experience about if you want to be successful, what you need to bring every week. And I actually think that's probably one of the best things he's done. You can see improvements in players, especially people like Torp. But I think just that it's an attitude thing as well. And I think he was a master of that. He maximised his career. You see players that waste their talent, and he didn't. He made the most of his talent and had a great career on the back of that. And I think the way he can talk to players about that and about maximising your opportunities, and what you need to do to sort of drive forward and really be successful. For me, I think that's a massive change. Just that shift in attitude in players.
Also, Vicky, not losing 5 out of your first 6 home games helps, doesn't it? Like we did last season under Mark Robbins.
Yeah.
The CBS now, you turn up, you feel you got half a chance. There's already 75% chance we're going to win. Probably higher than that now when we play at home. That's a massive difference.
Yeah.
Who would have thought, we're going to get 30,000 crowds? You wouldn't have thought that, 5-6 years ago, would you?
Well, we're getting away fans saying this is a tough place to come to. We've not heard that for years about our club. It's an intimidating atmosphere and all the rest of it. I mean, got to say, it did sound loud and silly, didn't it?
A Blues fan that I used to work with, she was there yesterday, and she said that actually she was worried it was going to be something like 5-0. So she said I probably should be happy that we only managed to lose by 3. But like you said, they were genuinely worried about coming to face us at the CBS, and that's a great testament, isn't it?
Well, they've lost 3 games already. They lost 3 games all last season.
Yeah.
And that's the step up. That's the difference back in this league. We found that out the first season when we came back up, how tough it was to get wins.
Yeah.
And that was when we had no money. They've spent a lot to look average at the minute. I mean, they may improve. I'm just saying what I saw yesterday. I think we made them look nothing.
Yeah, it's important to bring the right players in, isn't it? It's all right making the step up, but you've got to have the right players that can play at that level. And obviously, we have to make changes. Robbins had to make difficult decisions and get rid of players we probably quite liked, didn't we? And they didn't
take it up another level.
They not quite good enough to play that next level. And
I think the thing is as well, we've spoken about this because we've spoken, haven't we, about the sort of issues with depth in the squad. But sometimes you have to look at quality over quantity, don't you? And I think maybe Birmingham and Wrexham have been a bit guilty of going, spending a lot of money on lots of players that are relatively average Championship players. And whilst we could probably do with some more depth, I think our core 11 is up there. Like when you're looking at Birmingham, I'm thinking who would I want to put? Who would I swap for any of our players? Who would I swap out of their squad into our squad to play in the first 11?
I'd be strong.
And that's the difference, isn't it? We might want some more depth in some positions, but we've built up a really quality Championship first 11, and I think they've got a lot. They've got more quantity, but not all of it's decent enough quality. For what they were, if they were talking about straight promotion, I don't think they've got enough there for that.
No.
Wayne Littlewood, hi all. Big 3 points yesterday and nice to stop the draws. Birmingham was so poor. I thought we cruised through the game. However, the team yesterday just showed how short numbers we are.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern. Obviously, if we get an injury to someone like Hadji, then
but our concern last week, what happens if we get an injury to Rudoni and we still win?
That's right.
Hadji was out for half a season last year, and we got
he was.
So it's maybe we're just a bit too harsh on our own squad. Like I said, when you listen to other podcasts, they talk about us. They talk about us being a really great, strong squad, even neutrals. And I've said
we have got to. If they're all fit and raring to go, then we have got a very strong squad. But obviously, all being fit at the same time is another matter, isn't it? And that's not the case at the moment. But
offer of mercy, we shouldn't be afraid of anyone in this league. Millwall will be a different game than the League Cup. Injuries aside, I feel really positive. Glenn Watkins says, Cov were untouchable. Talk grabbed control of the game. Blues couldn't get to grips with us. It's been a long time since I've had a game where I felt that comfortable, actually. Probably Plymouth last season. Saying QPR. In all fairness, that was all over after half an hour, wasn't it? But in a game where you expect it to be difficult, I expected us to beat QPR. That was the difference. Wayne Littlewood, we didn't create much SD, but we're more clinical than previous games. Evening, folks, says Ralph Wiggins. What a brilliant performance by all the team. Ryan Matthew J. Rudy and EMC will be big misses, but I think Saturday showed we overall have a good squad. It's thin, but we have a lot of quality. There's a reason the fan bases think we're favourites to go up.
Yeah.
Rather a possibility. Still think Bissett was the team news leaker. No, it wasn't him. Trust me. George Andrew, evening, great weekend, fantastic result. Good to see the team has finally got to grip of the follow-up when we were attacking. Gavson Legrand, well impressed with our performance, completely outplayed the Blues. Wayne Brewington, we shouldn't be afraid of anyone in this league. Claudio, meant no flares in this lineup. Wayne Ghost. Meza Army, Grimes equals player of the season so far. What a fantastic signing. Finn, JDS, man of the match. Wayne Litwood, Claudio, we all thought the same when the lineups were announced. I think so. Ralph Wiggins, goes to show what a good judge Claudio is. I am actually, Ralph. I'm second in the leaderboard results.
Just to remind you, this is what he said. Draw at best today. No flair in this lineup. No depth. I'll be amazed if we win this game today. I'll be amazed.
Well, I was amazed. I was amazed.
That is what he said
1 minute
prior to the game kicking off. So
I actually have to do that more often, Claudio. When you have that little negative comment, you then do well. So you need to say something like that every week.
I was stood outside with 15, 16 of us, and we all went, "Oh no, Rudoni's not playing. Draw at best," is what people are thinking. So Lee Beckett, Millwall will be a big test Wednesday. Robert Mason, Claudio, Tats so negative, mate. Disappointed. Roy Shropshire, think Miles should eat a big piece of humble pie. Drop to Silver. He was outstanding. My man of the match. Time to change the record, Miles. It's getting boring. Otherwise, great show, guys. He's not on.
We'll pass the message on.
Yeah, I would have given the Silver man of the match, says Colin Branfield. 40. I said Saturday it was a proper professional performance. Everyone played great. We get 6 points from the next two and make everyone else notice we're not messing around this year. Anthony Pettifer, good all-round team performance. 4 points out of the next two games. I'll be happy, says Gavston Legrand. Steve Price, easy win to Silver and Grimes was superb. Atmosphere was great. Robert Mason, Roy, totally, mate. Had Gray in his pocket. Wayne Ghost, we can take anyone in this league at the moment. Confidence is through the roof. Torben Hadji, joint top scorers in the league. Rounds a possibility. I wanted the Silver gone in the summer. Thank God I don't know what I'm talking about. Not the only one. Not the only one. Ralph Wiggins. I expected Eccles to perform, but was absolutely amazed how well the Silver played. Just brilliant. Miles is obviously not on tonight, but we spoke earlier and he did say something. I was just reading Terry Hewins out. Birmingham are meant to be in the high pressing team, but apart from Stansfield running around like a headless chicken, I didn't see much of that even before the sending off. We're talking about how the defence, well, we're not letting teams create chances really or scoring from open play. But you now got Wolfenden in the background, so that puts the two central defenders on their toes. We've brought in replacements quite adequate to come in at left and right back, which is obviously putting pressure on players who are in the team to perform. So maybe that, I don't know what you guys think, maybe that little bit of competition has made the difference.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. But look, I mean, we all know there's a long way to go, isn't there? So, I think, yeah, you're probably right there in a way. You are right. But there's a long way to go and a lot of things can happen. It's a long season. And players drop form easy as they get form, don't they? De Silva might have a great game one week. He might be poor if he plays against Millwall during the week. You don't know because different teams we're playing against. So players perform differently for some strange reason, which is where, and that's the consistency. I think good players could consistently perform every week or near enough, and that's what gets you to that level. So it's interesting to see. I don't know what you think, Vic. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think I'd agree. I think that the talent behind is, I think, is probably is a factor in driving all of them to perform better. Because it was always a little bit odd individually. I always felt like they were good enough, and you couldn't really ever understand why we had so much trouble defensively. Like, it wasn't like I ever felt we had any players that were really horrendous that you think they're never going to be good enough. So it was always a bit odd that we had so many issues and they couldn't ever quite put your finger on it. And maybe just that sort of knowledge of the fact that someone waiting to take your position, and also on the flip side of that, that you don't lose your position if you're playing well, because whilst there's people there to take those positions, whilst they're playing well, like it's been a stable back line, hasn't it? Which helps. So it's the faith in the fact that if you play well, you'll keep your position, but you know there's somebody there like chomping at the bit for your role if you let down, and so just that extra focus maybe just to take away the silly mistakes, because you just adding that extra bit of focus. And I don't know. I think that's a reasonable explanation.
And I think, I don't know what you both think. I think Kitchen and Thomas are performing a lot better now than I know somebody's on the bench looking over their shoulder, ready to take their place if they do slip up.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? They need healthy competition.
Yeah,
we got that. So we thought Luke Wolfenden was going to come straight in. At the minute, he can't, can he?
He hasn't kicked a ball yet. No, he kept another clean sheet, so he can't change the team. I don't expect him to change the team for the next couple of games, unless for injury, unless there's an injury. But
Nicholas James, good evening to you both. Or both. It was obviously before Vicky came on. I have 100% faith in our boys. I was a little anxious when I realised we had no Rudy. But then as I was getting to hear how well we're doing, I just thought we should always keep our faith in Frank and the boys. That Chris Davis says Lee Beckett will be sacked in 3 games. Sometimes when it's been like that, you have to admit you're not at it. That's the one thing.
People respect that then, don't they?
That's the one thing you rarely heard Mark Robbins say when we had a bad game. He wouldn't blame the ref and trying to make it. He used to say we just weren't at it. And he'll say for whatever reason, that's for them to find out. There's no good blaming. It's no nonsense. Robert Mason, team's furious, and so do the fans, and long may that continue. Wayne Littlewood, Birmingham lacked everything yesterday. It was a good, laughable moment when Hadji had his shot in the second half. Yeah. Well, watching that, he should have let Torp take it. I think they got each other's way, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Mark Patman, even with the injuries, we can pull off a great performance. Eccles played fantastic. Coventry are on the up. Which top? The very top. Hi, Vicky. Nice to see Sims play well when he came on. We'll come to that in the second half, won't we, Ken?
Yeah.
Finn, here we come. He's still singing, is he? Right. Sims up front at Millwall. He played well, Vicky. Wayne goes, I've been saying all season Birmingham are massively overrated. Wayne Little, only thing that worried me yesterday was the Rushworth putting us into trouble on 2 occasions, passing it out from the back. He needs to cut that crap out. Wayne Rewington, Stanfield was their best left back for that game. I said to Luca, when he sat down in the second half, I said, do you reckon he's just had enough of trying to mark Sakamoto? Because he's probably thinking, I'm meant to be a number 10 or a striker, and I'm having to just keep defending all game. He just... I'd be really frustrated if that was me. We made Brum look average just like we did Norwich, said Gavston Legrand. David M. Stansfield is a good player, but the whole team had an off day yesterday. He will score goals in upcoming games.
Yeah, he's very quiet, wasn't he? Stansfield, they paid a lot of money for him as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
They didn't create anything, did they? What can you do if they don't create anything?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It was quite clever of Frank to play Eccles in Rudy's position. It didn't disrupt anyone else's game and gave their defence a problem. They weren't expecting the press. Is that you, Ken?
Sorry?
You're doing that buzzy thing.
Morse code.
Morse code. Wayne goes, I expect Sheffield Wednesday to give us a better game than Brum. They were that bad. Wayne Littlewood, Claudio, how is your heart rate? I'm sorry, I did that to you. Let this be a lesson. Stop looking at me. Terry Ewins, the amount of Blues fans saying Hadji died of the second yellow and always saying the officials got the second goal wrong. How did they not see the ref check his watch? That's the first thing I did was to look across.
Yeah, I was waiting for the ref. I was looking at the ref thinking, is he going to give it? And then he looked and pointed. I thought, great.
Yeah, we've got the goal line technology there, so
Yeah,
we haven't. So it worked.
Nicholas James, I'll read this out. Right. I was gutted not to be able to be there. Oh, I didn't realise you weren't there. As I was in Blackburn playing a show, but to see our boys doing a number on them, I just thought the reason is we are a team. They aren't. All that money spent never matter when you play a team who play for each other. Run through walls for our club. You beat the team who wants it more.
There you go. Let me just show you that. There's the goal. That's on Sky.
I think it's 4 millimeters. It's over the line, don't matter.
Yeah, it's over. It's a goal.
That's much further over the line than 1966. That's for sure.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yes. Ryan Matthew J says, I'm a big fan of Wolfenden, but I don't see how he gets in for Kitchen and Thomas if they continue to be in this form. Realms of possibility. What do you all think about the sky blue smoke? Bit much. I think that's Sky. That's a Sky thing on the 12:30 game. I think they brought that in.
Yeah, because there's all sorts, weren't there? There's flares, and we had the obviously the sky blue. We had the noise going off as well, didn't we? Which we don't normally have, but that was an added extra, I think, that we don't normally do.
Yeah. Wes Handley says 3-0 down and your bins are full. 3-0 down and your bins are full. Yeah, mine were emptied on Friday. Is that you guys? When were your bins emptied?
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. I think it's Friday all round.
Yeah.
That's weird, considering we all live in different areas and we've all got a bin collection on a Friday. That's weird.
and I come under Solihull, so it is weird, yeah. Oh. Nicholas Coleman, Kitchen did well to keep his cool. He was being bathed. Is that bathed or battered by Dykes and Co? I think it's probably bathed. It might like to be bathed, actually. That could be interesting, couldn't it? Speaking of Blues manager post-match comments, if you check the comments section from fans, they aren't appreciating the crap excuses he's come out with. I know I saw all that. Just want a bit of honesty. He's covering his own back, and I suppose in the heat of the moment he thinks it's not a foul, but they were fouls. End of. They're bookings.
No doubt about it.
There's also a crazy comment about that they wanted to get the ball down and play football, and they couldn't because we kept on kicking it away and we weren't getting booked for it. Well, and that didn't even. I mean, sometimes you think, did I just miss out at the game, like in the sort of heat of the moment? So I watched it back on Sky and thought that did not happen in the whole. What game was he watching?
How'd you kick the ball away? He got booked, didn't he?
Yeah, and that was the only time. Yeah, actually, their player could have arguably twice in the first half. You could say that their player kicked it away. I mean, I don't think it was enough for booking, but the only two times that I saw in the whole first half when I watched it back were Birmingham players kicking it when they didn't really need to.
What was really, really weird was that me and Luke were saying when we were 1-0 up, there hadn't actually been a really hard tackle by anybody. For a local derby, there was no boots flying and nothing, and then that guy does the clumsy challenge, then trips Hadji up. But there was no, like when we played Leicester a couple of seasons ago, that was quite fiery, wasn't it, from the start?
Yeah,
there was nothing like that at all. I thought that they were so placid, and it was weird. I expect them to be proper nasty in our face. It's like they got stage fright.
Yeah, they were very poor.
Yeah, Salop CCFC, yes, Claudio. The performance, we changed our shape and play, something that's been lacking from Lampard back on occasions when needed. Impressed with Hadji's effort in getting tackles and tracking back. Nicholas Coleman, Brum fans are saying their team did not turn up. Well, they certainly didn't, that's for sure. Oh, well. Hi all. Well, what a game. Defence was solid. Midfield keeps getting better and forwards look exciting. The bench strength looks good. Without our two talisman, we were comfortable. Eccles and BTA, brilliant. Lee Beckett says, thought Rushwood did better coming for the ball and crosses from corners. Still, we should have had our Millwall man in.
Yeah, I think he's having problems connecting. I don't know what the problem is, but he's going to keep trying. He is trying to get on, but at the moment he's not here. He's having a few difficulties, but so we'll plod on.
Mark Plodon, that sounds like Birmingham's defence. Mad Frankie, evening all. Brilliant result. What I'm pleased the most was all the boys had some fight in them. I'm glad it wasn't him who huddled up to me in the urinals. That could have been scary. Rounds of possibility, Thomas and Kitchen have upped their game because we signed competition for their places.
Were you huddled up in the urinals?
Half time. Well, I started making a joke as we were walking in because you do the toilet waddle, don't you? You do this as you're all shuffling to go in. And I said to one guy, I wasn't queuing for the loo. I was trying to get to the bar, and I've somehow ended up in the loo. But
Anyway, shall we talk about the second half then quickly? Vicky, second half, I thought we'd come out. We got that. Okay, it was a bit of a fortunate. It was a goal in the end, as we can see. Look, there it is. It went in. Even so, some of the people, I couldn't quite see from where we were whether it went in or not. Could we? But
well, no, I didn't realise until I watched it back exactly what had happened. I thought Eccles had headed it straight in because we were at a weird angle for that, aren't we? So I didn't. Yeah. As anyone who watched back, I realised what had actually happened.
But that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted that earliest, goal, didn't we, in the second half to settle down, and we just carried on controlling the game. I thought they never laid a glove on us, really. It
was nice to get the second goal, wasn't it? Because I thought I don't like a player getting sent off. It quite often ruins the game. Yeah. And I was thinking, we're winning. They're down to 10 men. They're probably just going to shut up shop. It's going to be really boring. We're going to be sat here thinking, come on, 90 minutes. So actually, to get a few more goals and that, and also just be so comfortable was a nice professional second half, wasn't it?
It was, and you give Frank a chance to obviously make a few subs as well. On 70 minutes, isn't it? In the, rest a few players, maybe because we got midweek game coming up, obviously, and give a few of the other players a run out. You Kai Andrews, Jamie Allen, etc.
Yeah, it was nice to see, and also look at some options, I guess, because Pert Brow and KKH are brought in forward positions, to sort of seeing how that works out. It's an option, isn't it? When we're if we've got injuries and things like that, just to sort of give them some minutes, but also look at options about where they can fit into the team. Yeah, it was a good second half. It was funny though, because I predicted 2-0, so I spent the whole second half once we'd scored going, "I'll keep it at 2-0. 6 points." And then Sims came on. And I thought I could actually forgive I'll forsake 2-0 if Sims gets a goal, and then he nearly did, and then Torp nicked it, and I was like, I've lost my correct score.
I don't think any of us had. I don't think any of us had 3-0, did we?
No.
But that's the latest league table, I believe. Jack on 17. Claudio short just behind with 15. I'm on his coattail with 12. Vicky with 10. Miles propping up everything with just 4 points, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think predicted lost, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miles is the Sheffield United of the table at the minute, isn't he?
Exactly.
No correct scores yet, though.
No correct scores. So we were close. I had 2-0 as well, so we were very close, but
because some people said 2-1, didn't they? But we said 2-0, so we got that 0, so we did an extra point for that. So that was good.
Exactly.
Fair play to Josh Eccles, because he could have given that up because it looked like it was going out, and I can see why you thought from where you sit he may have headed it straight in. But we thought the tough thing is, I thought it was way more further over the line than that.
Yeah, I did.
And I saw the ref look at his watch, but in fact I saw the lines because I looked across the assistant linesman. And he looked, and then the ref looked at his at the same time. They pointed to the centre spot, of course.
Yeah.
And it's great because we were sitting there going, we really could do with an early goal, get the second goal, and kill this game now. Because we kept saying it. With us, it only takes a set piece at the minute. A corner, anything can happen, can't it?
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, you don't want the game to fizzle out and stay 1-0, and then they get one lucky break and then equalise. That's what you don't want.
Yeah, because it happens. The other week, was it Ipswich came back from not Ipswich? Somebody else was down to 10 men, and they managed to bring the game back and draw. And it can happen. It can happen. So
it can happen. So it's important. We got the third goal as well, and your man of the moment. Mr. Sims did the business when he came on, didn't he? He caused havoc in the penalty area, nearly got brought down. I thought they was going to bring him down for that third goal, and there was talk to get the rebound.
That's it. Similar to what Claudia just said about Eccles for the second goal. Somebody following through and actually like keep on going. And considering that we were so comfortable, there's a lot to be said for that. That effort to still keep on scoring or trying, even like when you could say it's quite comfortable, and you could think, well, what's the point now? We've got this game won. Like that sort of desire to just keep on going is a good quality, isn't it? And so yeah,
it was a good clearance from the goalkeeper, wasn't it? Actually, it was a bit of a massive clearance from
a good old-fashioned punt up the field.
Yeah, the field, and the defender didn't know what to do. He couldn't control Ellis Sims really. He powerhouse between them and did what he's good at and what he should be doing all the time. And it's unfortunate not to score. Obviously, the keeper saved it, and Torp was there to. Fair play to Torp. You can see he's running off the ball, trying to get up there to support Sims. And he got there, and he was in the right place at the right time, wasn't he?
Come on now. Sorry, Kat,
sorry. The whole game, I was thinking about this. First of all, I'm saying, where's the flair? What we're going to do? It's going to be a draw at best. Then I'm at the start of the second half saying what we could really do is the goal. You know, we really need a goal, and then we score. And then the lad who sits next to me, said to me, says, the one thing this team now missing without Rudoni is a midfielder who's getting into the box. And within 30 seconds, Torp is following up and scoring. I thought, I'm going to keep doing stuff like this.
Yeah, you need to come and thinking these things, yeah.
Yeah, I need to say, what we're lacking is a centre-half who scores 3 goals in the game or something, and it might happen. And I thought, we just laughed when that went in. I said, I can't believe I just said we haven't got a midfielder like Rudoni to get into the box. We were lacking that because there was some crosses coming in, and there was no Rudoni running in for the headers, and they were just getting cleared. And I thought, well, that's what he does so well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Torp ran about 60 yards. He didn't have to.
No.
You know, it's about 12 minutes to go, whatever it was. He didn't have to run that far. You know, I also think they were lucky because he got pulled back a bit, did Sims. That's why he couldn't quite get a foot on it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to bring him down at one stage. That could have been another red card then.
But he did, in that 20-minute cameo, exactly what we need him to do.
Yes.
You know, so that proves that he can do it. You know, but he's got to want to do it. And I thought that 20 minutes was excellent. And we kept saying there's a couple of times we brought the ball down, played it out wide, battled for it. Now, whether or not he just, for some reason, he looked at that cash in, he was at the back and thought, I can handle him.
Yeah.
And he got on with it. But he just needs to do that. That's what he needs to do. Come on and do it. Because there's no reason to say why he couldn't start against Millwall because of the fact we got a game on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, it could happen. Because we need to, at some point, rotate a couple of players because I can't believe they're just going to keep playing the same 11 game in, game out because they're going to collapse, aren't they? Basically, you can't do it. We need some sort of rotation here and there.
Yeah.
And that's one position I think we could afford to do that because there's goals coming from elsewhere, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, you know, Torp leading goal scorer in the league, isn't he?
Him and Hadji. Yeah, Hadji's up there as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see. And great celebration. He tried to throw Ellis into the crowd, didn't he? When you look back, the fear on Ellis Simpson's face. It's like, oh, don't. They might touch me. It's quite funny that was to see that. Torp, well, he's gone up so many levels, hasn't he? He is.
And I think that. How much do you think that's to do with Frank Lampard? I think he's got a big say in it. I think.
Yeah. Look at the coaches. You got the guy who was England's coach. I mean, wherever people think of England have done pretty well the last few seasons in world tournaments. You know, these are good coaches. The coaches have gone up a different level, Ken.
Yeah,
from what we had. They definitely have, and you can see it. You can see it now. You know, we're getting something out of players that I thought we're not going to get anything out of them now. Even Josh Eccles, to a certain extent, has improved, I think, to what he was.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You know, and I think it's healthy that you got players in the team who realise now you have to get up a level to play, to get into that starting 11. Milan can't go the whole season like he did last year, where half the season, let's face it, he was a 5 out of 10 for some of the games.
Yeah.
He was struggling, wasn't he? Where we kept saying he needs a rest, he needs a rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'd be the same for the other players. The only player you can't take out, to be honest, out of all the players, the only player I'd be really worried about losing would be Grimes because his stats are a different level and he's that pivot. He's the guy that he is the man who goes through the gears. He dictates what we do, how we play. If you watch him, he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Like I said on Thursday, isn't he? He's just like the conductor of our team, and that's an important, and it shows why we brought him in. And yeah, so yeah, I think that'd be my worry.
He's a player who I sort of admired from a distance at Swansea. I didn't realise how good he was.
But let's talk about his talent, Claudio.
Well, minutes played, he probably would have been first had he not been taken off in a couple of games. Chances created 35, second in the league. Passes in the final third, look, first. Passes in the opposition box, first. Possession won, first. Touches, first. And I see stuff on social media saying, I don't really think much of Grimes. He slows the game down too much. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I actually don't understand what some people see at times. Yeah.
That's his job. That's his job, and he does it really well, doesn't he? If you watch him for the whole game.
Well, he's always available for ball, isn't he? Like, so he takes the pressure off at all of the other players because he's always available, and he can deal with the ball in even in the pressure, and he just is conducting things and keeping everything in order, and those stats show that, don't they? And the trouble is, people watch football in different ways, and some people won't recognise what he does because it is the engine of the team, and some people are only really excited about the sort of I don't know what the word would be for the sort of flair player of the team. So they'll love what people like Rudoni can do because of the skill, but they don't necessarily appreciate what the engine does. And the players with the skill can't do their job if the engine isn't. And that's the most integral part. That's what keeps it going forward. And that's Grimes. And we've now got the best one in the Championship. And so that's a coup that we got him in, and Swansea let him go. And when you put that into what we already had, because the advantage we've got then on top of that is that virtually 80% of that squad now have been together 2 seasons with some pretty decent success, and so we've got consistency and quality. I feel in danger of getting a bit overexcited because I'm overly positive because I know it's only been 7 games, but I'm just really feeling like we're in a good place.
Vicky, the thing with Grimes, he rarely gives the ball away. And for all the excitement you get from Torp and Rudy and Sakamoto, they do lose possession a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas Grimes rarely puts a bad pass. Whether it's 5, 10, 50 yards, he finds his player, which is a massive...
Just moving it on, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He's the guy who gets us out of trouble. When you need that person who can turn away from danger, and he does it a lot when teams try to press. He wants the ball. We never had that when Ben Sheaf was at Hamer was the last one who could do that, who prepared to take the ball under pressure with somebody on his backside.
Yeah.
Grimes does it easily. Yeah. And there's nothing to him. He's like a little stick, isn't he? It's amazing, really. I think he's we're so lucky to have him at the club. That is a great signing to have made, and I think he's brilliant. I don't care what anybody says.
It was fantastic. And say very rarely has a bad game, does he? To be honest, very rarely has a bad game.
He rarely makes a bad pass, Ken. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's 8, 9 out of 10 every game, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and he just reads danger well as well. Like a couple of times, like he was helping out De Silva yesterday a couple of times, and it's that reading of danger, like and covering your teammates and just helping out. There's just so many different quality facets to his game that just makes such a difference. Who
was your man of the match then, Vicky, for Saturday?
So it was a difficult one. I'd have been tempted to give it to Eccles. I was really impressed with Eccles, and I was thinking about this. I thought it's one of these weird quirks in football, isn't it? You never give a man of the match to a player that goes off for whatever reason. He was never going to get it because he went off. But you will give man of the match to a player that comes on and play. Like Sky gave it to Patterson when he scored against.
Ridiculous that was.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that happens. Like they come on, play 5 minutes, score the winning goal, get man of the match. And I thought it's one of those weird quirks that a player that can play 60 minutes, influence the game, and then go off, and he will never get man of the match. And I think De Silva and Milan were both they were up there, but I'd probably been tempted to give it to Eccles. I think I just was really impressed. I thought, considering he's been out and injured, he was having to come in to fit what are big shoes with Rudoni. I just thought he was excellent and did the role that Frank had obviously asked him to to perfection, I thought. So yeah, I'd give it to Eccles.
And you sticking with De Silva, Claudia?
Yeah, I mean, what Vicky says about Josh is right, though, because we were chatting about him during the game, and I actually said, and not in a derogatory way, I've hardly noticed him because he's not obviously done any mistakes or anything. He's not just got on with his job, what he had to do, and he did have a really good game. But for me, De Silva, he's got Tamari Gray to mark. He's a really good player. You know, and I thought he dealt with him quite easily. Then they put whoever else they put out. I mean, he went off, didn't he? And then they put the other guy on.
Yeah,
Did the same with him. I've got to say though, going back to the first half, the substitution was weird because Kumas looked their only threat, and when they took him off,
I thought that when he went off.
He took the wrong player off. He's actually took the wrong player off. He's the only player who looked like he could cause us trouble.
Yeah.
And they changed their mind because they weren't taking him off at first. They were going to take Stansfield off at first, and then they changed their mind because obviously where we're sitting, Kevin, you can see like that.
You can see them talking, and they obviously had a chat, changed their mind, and brought probably one of the better players off. To be fair,
yeah, odd.
I think I know they gave it to Milan, but he had a good game as well. And is it only me when KKH comes on the Milan done? Do they go to the same stylist or something? They look like exactly the same build. Everything looks identical. And I think playing both together, it's going to be so confusing. Don't know who they're marking if they both play together down there. But isn't that great to have two players who are so good and so similar playing down the same side? That's a nightmare if you're that defence. Stansfield must have thought, because when he come on, I thought, oh, Milan's coming off. I thought, no, he's keeping him on. And I thought Stansfield's going to sit on his backside, and he did in the end. He went, I'm going off. I've had enough of this.
Yeah. Well, up in the lounges, the man of the match was, this man
Brandon Now, goal scorer, creator, just a magnificent day, wasn't it?
I appreciate it. No, it was an amazing day. Can I just say the atmosphere was unreal. From minute one, it was just to even be out there, to be able to enjoy that and feel it, it just spurred us on, and I'm happy that we can make it a really positive day come the end.
And I was sat next to David Speedie. We spoke to David Speedie before, and when we sang that song at the beginning, We Live and Die, he said, I can't believe I've got tingles. And he's not really a Coventry fan as much. But let's go back to your goal. A big throw is a big thing in today's game, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Milan, if there's one person who's going to have that up in their armour, it's him. And he's, it's such a useful tool for us, and we're lucky to have it. So when it went in, everyone's got to stay alive and try and make something of it. And yeah, it's good.
Well, Kitch shooting.
To be fair, I've played against him for a lot of years, even in the likes of League Two, and he's always had that attacking prowess as well as defensively. So I didn't doubt him. I just had to follow him. Yeah.
And the sign of a good striker, a good forward, is to follow the shots in. You're always told that as a young kid.
Yeah, definitely. It's one just to bump the numbers up, those little tap-ins. So we'll take him. Just got to be alive too.
And it was a difficult game at the beginning because I think the referee was trying to let the game flow, but it looks as if it was getting a bit aggressive out there, and that's flipping brilliant for the crowd. And we love it, and as do the players. And but we got a stranglehold in the game, and then the goals flow, and we're second in the league at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I had a little peek, and I tried not to look at the league too much, but in the back of my mind I was thinking, yeah, it would be nice if we can get that and see ourselves in the automatic places, because that's where we want to be for the rest of the year. I'm sure they're up there, but I'm sure there'll be the other games. I'm sure it's never straightforward. Someone's probably going to win and change it up a bit, but we're definitely going to keep knocking on the door and make sure we're there. But just happy. I can't remember what you said, to be honest.
No, seriously, Matt, you're in great company, because neither can I. And it's great that Josh, it's played a big part in the game and scored a goal as well.
Josh, from straight away when I came in last year, he was one of the players I just said, he's got everything. He's got the stuff going forward. He's got the mentality. He loves battling. Obviously, he's a local boy, and we really love him. Even just around the place, he's an amazing guy, and on the pitch we can see everything that he brings. So it's so good to have him back.
I think you need to learn to smile more. He never stops smiling, does it? Brilliant, isn't it? We love that. And then Victor gets the third. And, you know, Birmingham, a good side. And beforehand, we were thinking, you know, maybe a draw or whatever. But it was a hell of, not just a great result, but it was a hell of a performance as well throughout.
Yeah, definitely. Birmingham are, you know, they're a really strong team, to be fair. They've got so many players with a lot of pedigree. And I think some teams probably, when they know that we've got a lot of quality in our ranks, sometimes players can have the quality and not be up for the challenge. So I found that, I think early on they probably tried to test our resolve, and we were more than ready. We knew that coming into it, that that's how the game's going to start. And when we all said before the game, out battling first, that's what we always say. And then once we've shown them that, you know, if you want to battle us, we'll give you it. Then when it gets down to the more quality and the ball playing, that's when we really get into our own as well. So happy to be able to do both sides.
And finally, over 30,000 again, you know, and I touched on, you know, the song before the game, but, you know, the crowd were just unbelievable, weren't they?
Sorry.
The crowd were unbelievable. They, you know, over 30,000 here, and really do lift you. Yeah,
it's incredible. I played here. I think I only played here once before I came, but coming here and being able to experience that week in, week out with everyone on your side, it's so much better than being one of them, isn't it? So, so yeah, I love it, and yeah, if we can keep that up, I really believe that we can do something special this year and make it happen. Yeah.
Well, we thank you for coming up here, and you know, such a great guy as well. So please put out with Thomas something. I think we've got some little kids here.
Well, there we go. Thomas Asante was man of the match. That was a bit of a bizarre interview from Harry Roberts. It was very good, very entertaining up there. It always is with Harry Roberts. Of course, he's an ex-Birmingham player as well, Harry Roberts, isn't he? So he did get a bit of stick, I think, from some of the crowd in there. So, but yeah.
I think BTA, he did have a really good game, and it's all about the battle and the desire, and fans forgive mistakes, I think, when you see somebody really trying, and he was really trying. And I think this is what's got to happen now, because when we're not perfect, we know we're not perfect, but it's amazing what you can achieve when you all work together, and that's in any walk of life, in any industry, any job, if teams, it's been in a team, isn't it? If you all work together,
yeah.
You know, I think his effort was so good. And it was, I mean, the sending off, he played the ball forward, didn't he? He won it and battled and got the ball forward to Haji Wright. A couple of times he got down that wing. I thought he hustled and bustled. Yeah, really good. And of course, the goal. His follow-up was superb. Absolutely.
He read it really well, and he scored a couple of seasons.
I mean, I don't know what you thought. It's so funny because when he put it in, I wasn't sure he scored. I thought he'd put it over, because it was almost like I felt a muted celebration by our fans. Whether or not we kind of expected to be winning or something, it was weird.
It was weird. A bit of a delayed reaction, wasn't it? So
I was more worried about an offside. That's why I was like,
were we expecting an offside flag? And I looked over and I thought, well, he's not offside, definitely not offside from where we could see it. I didn't see any flag, and obviously it was a bit of a delayed, but it was a goal in the end, and obviously everybody was cheering. But you're right, it was a little bit delayed. I know what you're saying when he first went in.
But I'm not surprised you got man of the match. You could have picked. It's not many games. You could probably pick 5 players easy who could have been man of the match.
Yeah.
And
he was a reasonable shout, wasn't he? I think that just that effort. I'm just really pleased for him, because I was really happy when we signed him last summer, and it just didn't really work, did it? Fully last season, but he's really come back. Like, it's like he went away in the summer, was like, right, I just need to refocus and go again. And this isn't the first game when he's turned up like that this season. Like, just that effort and willingness to fight for the team. I think we've seen that a fair few times this season from him. That's really the sort of player he's becoming, and it drives on other players, isn't it? Like, if so you've got somebody that's willing to put in that effort, and and a lot of the Birmingham fans were moaning, but because they'd got forward, hadn't they, just before that sending off, and they were moaning that they faffed around with it, that we fought and got it back, and then obviously broke, and they then Got the players sent off.
What do you guys think then? That what's happened here is that we bought a bunch of players when Mark Robbins was in charge, and we hadn't, well, with him and the coaching staff, couldn't work out what to do with them, where to play them all. Whereas Frank has come in with his team and gone, right, we're doing 4-3-2-1, whatever it's called, whatever we play now, 4-3-3. This is what we're doing. This is how we're playing. Just learn how to play it. This is what we're doing. Whereas before, we didn't know what was going on. We had players playing out of position all over the place. You know, Rudoni as a left wing back doesn't really work, does it? Sticking in that, it was that the game where he made the back pass, wasn't it, and give the goal away.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, and just little things like that. Can't decide who to play on the wing. Can't decide who plays a holding midfielder. And I think with Frank Lampard and his team, he's coming and said, right, wipe the slate clean. We're doing 4-3-2-1. This is where you're fitting in. You've got to fit into those positions. That's how I see it. I don't know how you guys see it.
Yeah, I think I probably agree. I think Robbins, he didn't know his best team.
True.
Whereas Lampard, I think, does. You know, from what we've got at the moment.
Well, also he's very certain about the way he wants to play, isn't he? Like, so this way we're playing this season, like that's and sort of the stability, like with the defence as well. Like we were talking about, like last season, like all of a sudden, one week it'd be Thomas and Kitchen, and the next week it'd be like Thomas and Latibodiere or Binks, and then you're just thinking like there's no stability there, is there? Whereas I mean, I think it's one of the most important parts on the pitch where you really have a chance to build up that relationship, and a solid defensive partnership is key, and that's the difference, I think, isn't it? He's like, I'm playing this way, and this is where you're playing, and I'm sticking with it. I suppose actually we've spoken about this before, actually, Claudio, haven't we? That we're now playing the way we want to play. We're not playing for
exactly,
and this is our way. We're confident that we can get results playing our way, and we're not looking at the opposition and going like, what we're going to do to cope with them. We're like, well, no, we're good enough, and we're going to play our way, and it's for them to adapt to that, and that's actually probably the key difference, I think.
I think what happens is if you're really good, you play a certain way. You just say, this is how we play. Brazil never changed the way they play.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, Italy don't. They haven't got very far in recent years, but they don't change. You know, they may have, say, if you have a structure of 4-3-2-1, you may bring in another defensive-minded midfielder into the 3, but you still play the same formation.
Yeah,
you know, that sort of thing. You don't just keep changing all the time, go 3 at the back or whatever, this, that, and the other. It only works if you've got the players.
Yeah.
And we haven't really got the players to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it worked in the era of. And he's gone all funny again. I don't know what he did there. I'll mute him while he sorts himself out. He's like Kermit the Frog, isn't it? It's just, you need to update your equipment, honestly. You know, you're meant to be the leader of the pack. Comment 87, crazy the levels of coaching, clearly on show from Robbins to Lampard. Same players took top level players under Lampard with proper coaching. That's coming out now. I think it's showing. It is truly showing. Robert Mason reckons Talk could get 20 goals. Nicholas James, isn't it all just really positive? Let's take a moment to appreciate how lucky we all are with the support. Such an amazing special club. We're now looking really good on every level. What a brilliant season we are having. Second, we own our stadium. I'm convinced we are going up this season in Frank, Doug, and our boys. I have complete faith. I'll see if I'll just click Ken, see if he's all right. Is he all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
You're all right now. I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what happened there. I was just looking through comments.
Yeah. Stop touching knobs. Mark R. Claudia can't take sitting with the what's that say? Can't stand sitting with the proles in the cheap seats. It's bad for his health. Is that proles? I don't even know if that's a word, is it? Nicholas James, £45 and you're 3-0 down. I know, it's funny. Anthony Pettifer, Claudia not used to of crowds after the posh boxes. I was talking to Miles about this. In some, it is the atmosphere is good over the other side actually, because you've got a lot of people who are mad Cov fans. They just happen to do well for themselves and they're sitting in nice seats. But I quite enjoyed being in Block 18 again yesterday when you're winning 3-0 and you're hammering local rivals. It was great, I've got to say. I really did enjoy that. Claudio says, Colin Branfield, can you stay in your normal seat now at home games as we get results when you're in there? Wayne goes, the fireworks were great. Loads of oohs and ahs around the block. Very unexpected.
It was very unexpected.
Yes, it was. And of course, I would get Jamie Allen to donate his sub bib when he retires. That's Dave Sports photos. Nick Kelly, it was good to see the subs bench that came on and we're up for it as well. That is true. It was true, actually. They were all over the place, weren't they? Well said, Vicky. Says Assassin's Unite Lamps is a winner, has installed it into the team. Realms of possibility. CBS equals the elephant's tusk. I was saying this yesterday. We need to name. I don't know what's going on with Ken's equipment. Well, I was saying about the CBS, how we should rename it and give it a nickname like the Phoenix Nest or the Elephant's Lair or something like that. Yes.
Yeah, that's some thought.
Yeah. So, Sean McLaughlin, there'll be a bump or two in the road without a doubt. It's the championship.
I think it's like you said, Claudia, though, isn't it? Like Sunderland last season went off at a flyer, and then when the bumps for them came, it didn't really matter. And that's like us this season, and that's what you'd said, wasn't it, in the summer, that like that's the advantage of a good start. Rather than playing catch up, you're just like looking down, thinking, well, we're still above that, and that's you're in a better position, aren't you?
Well, they're saying, I think they said that last season, 3 of the top 7 at this stage were even in the playoffs or got promoted. You know, it does make a difference. Yeah, you can afford to. Okay, we might have a blip against Millwall, but then we could win again on the Saturday. But you're still in the mix. It's so important to get off to a good start. Rounds of possibility. Doug King will strengthen the squad in January for sure. Fran Hunter, maybe Brum looked as bad as they were because our manager sets us up right and our lads' work rate was excellent. Give the credit where it's due. The problem is they've come up on record points. They rarely drew a game last season. They just won most of them, didn't they? And I suppose you're on the crest of the wave, aren't you? But the championship's a tough division.
Yeah,
it really is.
Well, they should know that. I mean, they've only been away a season, haven't they? It's not like they've. I mean, they know what the championship's like. I think they just got a bit carried away, didn't they?
Autism Monkey says, I'd like to see Milan and KKH on the wing again. I've said it since the signing, when Sakamoto needs a break. That could be exciting. See, on Wednesday, if KKH started for Sakamoto and Sims played for Wright, it wouldn't bother me at all, because you're just thinking, okay, a couple of players need a bit of a break. Sakamoto, Wright, we've got a game on Saturday. That's how it should be, really.
Yeah.
Lee Lishman, hi. All great result. Team is well drilled, but sign of promotion chasing team is going to Millwall midweek and get a result, then beaten an unpredictable Sheffield Wednesday. Consistency is the key now. Gordon Tully Art. Sat next to Steve Price Saturday. Was nice to meet him. We had a League of Nations on our row, a Welshman, an Irishman, who caught a 4 a.m. plane to get to the CBS, an English couple in the first 4 seats. They are. And if you're sat next to me, there've been 2 Italians. So, Paul Stratton, Frank needs a training with Bobby Thomas on passing the ball. Apart from this so far defensively, him and Kitch have been very good. I think, Paul, you're right. That's his only weakness. I do tend to think when he's on the ball, I always say, just give it to Grimes. Do not pass it. Just give it to Grimes. Ian Plimlock, not at all. In Chris Davis wasn't at the same game as his players. He wasn't he? Ridiculous. Craig Robinson from Sky Blues Forum, the top 3 in the championship, as the Sky Blue connection. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Yummy Rob. Okay. There you go. We have an exciting times at the City. I couldn't imagine having over 30k fans for most games. It's fantastic. We're certainly on the up. Steve Price says, "Hi, Gordon Tulliart. Fantastic to meet you and your wife. What a great day. Brilliant to be sat next to Dave Brennan, founder of the Irish Supporters Club. Great day, great people."
Oh, that's great, isn't it?
It is. It is.
That's not.
I mean, I sat down in my seat, and the father and son who sits next to me. He said, "So you've been kicked out the posh end, have you?" It's the first thing he said. I was just like, you know what happened as well? I actually walked past our entrance. I forgot.
Oh,
I had
no.
Leamington and Warwick lot taking the mick out of me because I walked straight past them all. I thought, it's been so long. So Ralph Wiggins, I was impressed with the fans when Sims came on, giving him the encouragement he needs, and he didn't let us down. Put a good shift in. That's true. You must be pleased with that, Vicky, because he comes on. We get behind him. We do get behind him.
I thought, especially yesterday, there really was a really loud, because occasionally he's come on and you do have a bit of a like mixed, like some people supporting, some people sighing, and yesterday it was a full on, and then he repaid that, I thought, with a decent cameo, and hopefully that takes both the fans and him forward, like where he feels, because it's a difficult relationship at the minute, isn't there? He must know that there's a section of the fan base that don't rate him, and you can just tell that sometimes when he's celebrating goals and things, that he just seems reluctant to get too near the fans. Like he's not really sure what the reaction is going to be. And I just thought yesterday that was really nice to hear, like a really solid like celebration when he came on, like really getting behind him. And a few times during the game actually, while he was on, like when he did a couple of things that were like decent and sort of created some chances, and yeah, that really got behind him. And I think that just bodes well, doesn't it? Because ultimately, all we want is all our players to do the best they can. It's good for everybody, isn't it? So yeah, I was pleased, and that was nice. And I thought that was good.
This is an interesting point. Frank Wood says, "I like the fact that when even at 3-up, we were still trying to score. We were, weren't we, Ken? We were definitely trying to get more goals."
Without a doubt. I thought we looked good. I mean, we could have probably easily got 4 or 5 really if we wanted to, couldn't we? No doubt about that. We could go up a gear at any time. It's one of them games where we're in so much control. We could easily have gone up 1 or 2. But fair play to Flank. He did use his subs. He changed it around and gave other players a game that normally been on the bench and had much game time. So it's nice to see them come on and do a job. You know, and say Sims did all right when he come on. So he needs a bit of game time. He needs a goal. We all want him to score. It'd be great if he does score eventually when he does get a chance, so we can get back to the form we know. Shall we talk Millwall then for a little bit? Because had a problem with a Millwall fan. Obviously, he's got a bit of internet issues. He was going to come and join us tonight, but he's had text me. He's obviously got a few issues. He can't get on here tonight, so unfortunately he won't be on. But he was going to come on and put his side of the story, if you like, because they're the only team that have beat us so far this season, albeit in the EFL Cup, and it'll be a completely different team, I'm sure, Claudio, on Wednesday night, won't it?
I'll tell you what, who knows, because we did expect Rudoni to be missing, did we, yesterday? So all being well, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a couple of changes, just because we've got a game at 12:30 on Saturday. Which is a bit, I don't understand why they do this to not just as other clubs. You're playing on Wednesday, surely you should have a 3:00 kickoff on a Saturday. But it's a 12:30. I mean, some people may think well, what's the big deal? It probably means that you could probably travel on the Saturday if you're playing at 3:00, but the chances are you have to travel on the Friday now and be up there a day early, which means you got less recovery time. You've only got Thursday, you know, and that's it.
They'll have to be up there Friday night, I presume. Yeah, that's what they told me.
I mean, Birmingham have got Tuesday, then they're playing Friday night at Wrexham, aren't they? I think.
So they've got a tight.
Yeah. So, but I wouldn't surprise me if he makes a couple of changes. Where, I don't know. Haji Wright, was he okay with it off? He wasn't limping or anything, was he? Don't know.
No, seemed okay.
EMC could be back for all we know. We don't know, do we? So, it wouldn't surprise me if he did just maybe a couple. But where, I don't know, because you're not going to drop anybody because of their performance, are you? Whoever steps out will be purely to give them a break for 45 minutes, which sounds ridiculous after only 7 games, but they've been quite intense, these games. If we're going to get out of this league, they're going to have to work every game. So, and it's a quick turnaround as well, isn't it?
It is. They drew 1-1 against Swansea. So they had a good result away at Swansea on Saturday. They are the only team to beat us, Vicky, this season. Do you see many changes in the team, or do you? I think personally, he'll keep the same team. I really do, and then he'll change as the game goes on.
Later on, I mean, I think there was fairly wholesale changes, wasn't there, for the game away? And I think, like we spoke earlier on, when you're only making a couple of changes, these players can just slot in, and because you've got the core team that are playing regularly, and I think that's different to making wholesale changes. I think that was the trouble in the cup title. I don't think it'd be anything like that at all. I think there's options, isn't there, just to make a couple of changes just to rest. I mean, it's just difficult, isn't it? Because there's that balance, isn't there, between you're on a good, we're on an unbeaten run, we're in good form, players are playing well, some decent performances, but they can't play all season, 90 minutes every week. So at some point you've got to use your squad, because that's the point of it. But it's that balance, isn't it, I guess, about what do you do when no one deserves to be dropped from Saturday's performance because nobody played badly. So who do you pick to be the one that gets a rest? I don't know. Or do you just stick because things are going well and you just keep on going until I don't know. Because also when you're doing well, I mean, players always say this, don't they? When things are going well, they don't want to not play. It's when things are a bit rubbish that injuries start creeping in and people don't want to. But at the minute, I'm sure they're all chomping at the bit to get on the pitch because it's a nice. I'd be surprised if there's more than 1 or 2 changes, if any, personally.
Yeah, I think it'll be a different game completely to when we played there a few weeks ago in the Cup. I think we'll be definitely more competitive, and I think Frank will be looking to come away with 3 points to keep the run going. And I think if we do get a couple of goals, which would be good, and we can afford to make a couple of changes in the second half, bring a couple of players on and rest a couple of players for Saturday, then I think he'll do it that way, I think. So, but it's always a difficult place to go to, Millwall, isn't it? Because, they're in your face. It's a bit of an intimidating, well, it used to be intimidating. I don't know if it is so much now, but it certainly used to be down in the old den. And they'll fans are very close to you, and the players. So it can be very intimidating, especially if they're performing well. So
that was Frank's first win last season, though, wasn't it? So he knows how to get a result down there. So
about to say that, exactly. So we have won there before, so there's no reason why we can't go there and win again.
Well, actually, we've not done bad there in recent seasons, and I mean, I think we've won 2 seasons in a row in the league, haven't we? I'm pretty sure. And the last time we didn't win, I think was that when Simon Moore had an absolute nightmare, and then
2-up.
So actually, we threw away that game. We should have been winning that game. So we've actually got some reasonable form down there. So I hope that bodes well as well.
Yeah. So give us a prediction then, Vic.
Oh dear.
I'm writing these down so we can add them onto our.
Subject a bit more. I'm going to say 2-1 to Coventry. I think we can get another. I think we can get 3 points on there. I think, but I think probably away from home we're more likely to concede a goal, and I'm going to go 2-1.
Claudio.
Yeah, I wish we could do these an hour before kickoff. We see what the lineup is.
Yeah.
At the minute,
there'll be no Rudoni, and so
well, there's no Rudoni, so I'm going to be conservative, and I think we'll come away with a draw on this one.
1-1.
I've not predicted many draws, I don't think. A 1-1. I think I'll take a 1-1. I think at the minute, although I'll tell you what, if we do draw 1-1, I'll still be disappointed because I do expect us to go and win. But I'm just thinking, I don't know, tricky play. I'll tell you what, sod it. 3-1 win.
Win.
3-1 win.
Well, that's a dramatic change of mind.
Yeah. 3-1 win.
Okay.
Is that a
Come
Sims
on.
hat trick, Claudio?
We're second in the table. What am I thinking? We're second in the table. 3-1 win.
We've got to go to them places and win. Simple as that. Yeah.
Well, we're second for a reason, Ken. It's because we're
Yeah.
very good. We're the second best team in this division after 7 games. That's why we're there. Simple as that.
Exactly. Look, there's the goal scorers chart there. Had you right, Victor Torp, and your mate Josh Sargent, who we were hoping to sign, weren't we?
There you go.
In the top 3 goal scorers as well. So, that's got to be good. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Cov. So we're all pretty confident actually. We're all going to go for a win.
Yeah, that Philogene scored another cracker, didn't he, yesterday?
Yeah.
Don't let him cut inside and shoot. It's what I said on the programme the other week, wasn't it? You can't let him come inside and shoot. It's basics, that is. Just absolute basics.
Yeah.
Shall I do some more comments?
Going 2-1 win, Claudio 3-1 win. I'm going for 2-0 win. We'll get Moles's prediction off him before the game.
Did you want to talk about the Speedie night now?
We do, yes. We've got a lot of things. We're just going to go through there's a couple of things to remind you of. Home game parking, parking.co.uk. That's for the home games. Go to the website and they'll give you home game park, very secure parking in and around the CBS. And if you're going on the coach to Millwall or to Sheffield Wednesday, got 2 away games coming up. Why don't you travel with Big Travel? CCFCtravel.co.uk. Very comfortable coaches, very reasonable prices, and they'll get you there and back very safely. So, coach travel provider for the away games is very highly recommended. CCFCtravel.co.uk. Also,
if you go with them to Sheffield Wednesday, you can even see me because I'm on their coach for Sheffield Wednesday.
even travel there ourselves. So, Fans Forum, the Old Sheffield, Thursday, the 16th of October. Don't forget this night, 7:30 p.m. start. That's the Old Sheffield in Kersley. We'll be hosting that night again. We'll have a quiz, a raffle, and it should be a great night all round. So put that date in your diary, please. Thursday, the 16th of October, 7:30 at the Old Sheffield. And
I've just had a message from Mark Rainbow. Apparently, a prole is somebody's working class. They are.
okay.
Yeah. Every day's a school day.
And if you want to see, yes, if you want to see Mark DJing at the Old Sheffield, there's a fancy dresses and Halloween night, karaoke night there on the 31st of October at the end of the month.
I'll be at Wrexham.
7:30. That's the same night as we play Wrexham. So it'd be
I'll be going to Wrexham. Yeah.
Oh, well, probably. So I'll have to miss that, I'm afraid. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about a very successful night we had with David Speedie, that man. There he is. What a fantastic night it was, wasn't it, Claudio? From start to finish, really. He told us a few stories. We've got a few videos, by the way, for you. There's a lot of language in them, but we'll be releasing them as and when required over the next few weeks. We'll give you them slowly because there is quite a few stories to be told. We've got a couple of little snippets we're going to show you tonight. But that's the man in question. He had some great stories to tell. Fascinating stories. Were you shocked by some of the stories, Claudio?
No, I thought it was a bit tame actually, because I'm sure there's a lot more he could have said.
Yeah.
He definitely doesn't like certain players from the past, that's for sure. Not to do with Coventry City, I might add.
Yeah.
And he's so confident in his ability, wasn't he? Without being arrogant, he just. He had no fear, and he played that way, didn't he?
Yeah. I had the pleasure of picking him up from the hotel and dropping him back, and he was so, grateful. He said, "Thanks very much for he had a great night, and he'd be definitely coming back." So he's really pleased how the show went. He sold a few books. That probably had something to do with it.
Yeah.
So he sold quite a few books on the night, more than he expected. The raffle prize winners were as follows. There's the first prize winner, the old Granada shirt that Speedie wore on his debut at Wembley. That's the first prize. And then we had a third prize winner, that was the cup. And then we had a second prize winner of David Speedie book. which sold very well on the night, and they're still available if you're all good bookshops, I believe. £25. He sold quite a few books on the night, and all his stories are in there. So let's have a look then. Let's have a look at David Speedie when he got called up to the stage by Miles. These are some of the pictures from the Walsgrave Working Men's Club, and this is when he was coming up to. This is the stage. This is a setup. There we go. There he is. That's a brilliant picture of him. We're all singing the Sky Blue song there when we were. There we are. Here's the video anyway.
Keep the applause going, come on. Here he comes, right, we're going to get you to stand at the front here if you don't. We'll sing together. We'll sing together. We'll sing together.
Fantastic videos, absolutely brilliant. I was just looking to see if we've got any more photos to show. We've got a couple more we can show. There's some of the stage set up. There's Miles interviewing him on the night. There's Miles and David Speedie. There's the team. There's all of us on stage with Chris Baker as well, who got in on the picture. He organised a great night. It was fantastic. Oh, there's Doug as well from yesterday. The picture was taken. And here's me and David Speedie yesterday. I caught up with him at the game. He was also a guest of honour up in the lounges yesterday with Billy Bell. I caught up with him and he remembered me, and he said thank you very much again for dropping him off and stuff. And he was full of praise for the night. He said it was a fantastic night. He really enjoyed it, and he can't wait to return. So, what a fantastic guy he is, and just had so many stories, so many good stories. Vicky, were you surprised? I mean, obviously Speedie wasn't really your era, was it? But were you surprised at some of the stories you come out with?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like, yeah, I never saw him play live. He'd left before my first game, so I've obviously heard about him. But there wasn't anything that was. I mean, we all know what football was like in the 80s. Actually, the interesting point I thought was in reflection to what we were talking about on Thursday night with ticket pricing. Actually, talking to him showed where the game's moved on from. I mean, he was obviously talking about when he used to work down the mine and coming from proper like working class roots and like making the most of his talent as a footballer to, I suppose, improve his life, but playing for the love of the game, and it still being sort of really a working class sport, and so like going for a drink, I mean, and things like that. And so I don't think any of the stories were a surprise. There was some really funny stories. He's a character, isn't he? But it does bring home how much things have changed in like the last sort of 30, 40 years with like players where we're at now in the game as to where we were when he was playing. And I think actually some of that's a bit of a shame because we've lost to some of the real essence of what football was back in the sort of 80s, 90s. But yeah, it was a really good night. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, funny.
Yeah, it was a good night had by all. And I mean, on the way back, he was telling me he was so glad his son turned up because his son was in the crowd as well. He hadn't seen his son for 3 years, and he messaged him to say he might be there, he might not, sort of thing. And he didn't think he'd be turning up. And then we just pulled up outside the Walsgrave club, and his son was just getting out of the car there, another car, and they were hugging each other and everything. He's so glad to see his son. He said he's so pleased he turned up, and his son actually asked a question, didn't he, as well on the night? So he asking him about his all-time 11, wasn't it?
I thought you were going to say, why haven't you seen me for 3 years?
No, it was good though, Claudio. I mean, it was some fascinating stories there, and
all the old players have got something to say. I know we've done interviews with the more current players in the past at different venues. They can't say a lot. They're just not. They just can't. They can't talk about what's going on now. So, and they can't really talk about what happened at another club, the previous club, because everyone's still connected. But once you've retired, you don't give a monkeys, do you? You've written a book and you say what you want. And he very much did, didn't he, when he spoke about certain people?
He certainly did. And
I'm not saying who, because you need to buy the book, basically, to find out.
We have got some video snippets, which we will release over the next few weeks, one by one. Some interesting thoughts in there about certain players over his career and the clubs he played for.
But he hates VAR, and today, after watching what I've seen on Sky this afternoon, I can understand why. Like us all, it's just rubbish, isn't it? That even yesterday with is it Brentford and Man United, when it took so long for the penalty to be taken. It's like, oh, come on! It's meant to be a quick decision, and it's getting worse. So whatever Speedie said about the VAR, I agree with him. If they decided next season we're not having it anymore, just go with what we had yesterday in the Championship. Goal line technology, that will do.
I know he was. He's very happy with. I asked him yesterday about Cov's performance and what he thought of the game. He said, "Brilliant." He said, he thought Frank Lampard got his tactics spot on, and he was very impressed with Coventry. And he just think they'll be up there or thereabouts at the end of the season. He said they were brilliant, so he was well impressed. So that was David Speedie night. It was very good. So if you missed out, it's a shame. But these nights are
missed. Yeah, look out for the next one. We have
next one. We'll have a couple more coming up, hopefully over the season. So, but that was a good one. But look out for the videos. We've got a few little video snippets for you over the next few weeks as well, which will be interesting. So we might even play a couple on the show. Depends on there's a lot of bad language in there, but we'll have to try and.
I think you can't. You just have to put it on the snippets. Right, I'll read some more comments, shall I? Rob87, BTA seemed more comfortable out wide. His goals are a bonus there. When he's the main striker to be the main goal scorer, and I think he then suffers. Fran Hunter wants to know if Ken's been on the spicy beans again.
Oh, is that with the noises that are coming? I don't know.
Yeah. Sean McClark and Claudio, we might not be 100%, but we're right up there at the moment. Frank Lampard inherited a team. He's took what he inherited, and we are seeing a real difference now. I think you're right. Craig Robinson says, is Ken using the ZX Spectrum, the computer?
Oh, he's loving the Spectrum back in the day. Oh, that's a blast from the past, isn't it?
Years ago, I did have one.
I remember playing for the first time on the Hobbit Text Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was sensational.
Let's mute Ken.
Shall I mute him again? That I could just put go left and it would go somewhere, then it wouldn't do something when you told it where to go. And in the end, I'll get really angry and just say, tell Hobbit to do one. And it would say, Hobbit doesn't understand bad language.
The worst bit was waiting half an hour for a game to load, and then it crashed us as it loaded. I mean, it's just a different world, isn't it, to computer games these days?
I don't. Yeah, it's totally different. Mark R, we have the same players playing the same formation as Robin's played, but the coaching is obviously better at informing the players what is expected from them. I think being fitter helps as well, because they definitely look fitter. Matt says, when we invest in the top half and we live and die in these towns flag. Oh, when we'll invest in the top half of the we live and die in these towns. I don't know. I don't know who set that up in the first place. Can't believe how the ground started to empty again before the final whistle. Dave McGee said he met Dele Alibola in the club shop before the game. He was in the anecdote as well before the game.
Oh,
He's a big guy. Paul Stratton, another big factor in the performance this year is the upturn in our fitness level. Seems Frank and coaches have a super fit squad. Sean McClock says, Vicky, your support for Ellis Sims gave us a third. There you go. I really wish he'd scored actually when he went through. Oh, the mic's silence again. The EFL do not dictate kickoff times. It's down to the sky. Money talks. That's right, Frank Wood. And they don't care, do they? Paul Stratton says, let's not get above ourselves. Another tough away game would take a point now. If you show same level of aggression and commitment, we could get all three.
I think sometimes we should get ahead of ourselves. I feel like we're quite self-deprecating as a fan base. We're always like, oh, we can't be that good. And sometimes we have to go, actually, we are. Like, we're undefeated this season. There's no reason to think that we shouldn't be saying, like, you wouldn't get, like, I don't know, Leeds fans or something like that last season going, oh, what? Hopefully we can scrape a draw at Millwall away. They'd be going there talking about 3 points, wouldn't they? And on our current form in this season, why can't we do the same?
Well, yeah, I mean, David M says here, people are getting carried away with the result in one game. I prefer to take things game at a time on to the next one. True, but likewise, we're critical when we don't play so well. So I think, you know, we just need to be positive. And like you say, Vicky, well, why can't we go to Millwall and win? Yeah, if we're going to get out this division, we need to win minimum probably 28 matches. So we need to win at place. We need to win a good 10 away games, I think. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. End of if you want to be in the top two. Frank Wood said, I used to drink with a lot of players from the 60s and 70s, and they were just like us, great guys. Right. Back to you, Ken.
Okay. Well, basically, we go to Millwall, and I expect us to get 3 points. I do, and we all expect us to get, because we've all predicted a win. Hopefully, Miles will predict a win as well. But then again, if he predicted to lose, we don't care anyway, because he predicted us to lose on Saturday. So, but how are we going? This is the question I want to ask. How long can we cope without Rudoni, do you think? I mean, I know he missed. We reckon it's going to be about 3 weeks, probably going to be after the international break. Do you think, Claudia, that we'll be okay till then? Do you think we'll get by? Because he's a player that is so vital to the team, isn't he?
They've not let on how bad this calf is.
No.
It could be a 3-month job, you know. With calves, it's weird. We just have to find a way. We did on Saturday, and we'll come on Wednesday. We're going to have to find a way again, basically. People have to step up. And, you know, heroes come out of anywhere sometimes, where you least expect it. Somebody who steps up to the plate, and they did on Saturday. And hopefully, come Wednesday, we do it again. That's all you can ask for. I think and you could say the same when Hadji was missing. We had that great run when he was missing.
Yeah.
You know? And I think we just got to get out behind the players. We know that what's happened here. We've lost a really good player. You know, EMC might be back soon as well. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom, is it, at all? We're second in the table, and I think we've got to use that as a massive positive with whoever starts. And
I think if you remember last year, the year before, when Ben Chief was out injured, we were all like, oh God, we want Ben Chief back ASAP. You know, he's an important player, but he missed so many games in the end that we went on such a good run without him, didn't we? That we didn't really miss him, did we? In the end.
Yeah, because if you lose Rudoni, and then people say, "Oh, if you get more injuries, you lose Torp, you lose," then as a squad, you're unlucky. Because if you're losing all your top players, it doesn't matter who you got on the bench. You're running out of players anyway. So I think we just got to get behind the players who play on Wednesday, and that's what you can ask for. I mean, he is a loss, but we won 3-0 without him.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. Got to stay positive.
Yeah,
we're probably quite lucky with the timing of some international breaks, aren't we? I mean, we've got an international break after the Sheffield Wednesday game. Then there's only a handful of games, and then there's another international break in November. So that's going to help. It gives time for players with niggles to get. I mean, I hate international breaks and it interrupting the football, but that was one of the domestic football. And but actually, sometimes it helps if you've just got a player that's got a injury and just gives them a chance to recover. So actually, there's only a couple of games till the international break, and then we can obviously assess where that is. And like Cardo said, there's players to step up, and they can be the heroes, can't they? So it's all good.
Well, that's right. This is where players get their chance, don't they? You know, they can moan about not getting a chance, and now players got to like Eccles and Jamie Allen, for example, have got to step up and step to the mark, if you like. And the next two games are winnable. You know, on paper, when you look at them, they're winnable. Millwall and Sheffield Wednesday, and then of course we've got the break. So I think we'll be okay. Hopefully, if we're getting back just after the international break, that should coincide with us. Hopefully, keeping an unbeaten run, all going well, and that's what we're all looking for. Maximum points for the next two games. I think, even if we haven't got Rudoni, I've got to say I think we've got the players to step up and fill in. So I'll be quite happy with that. That's about any more comments?
Yeah, I've got a comment from Paul Stratton saying, Vicky, all the years we have got ahead of ourselves, we come down with a bump, game at a time, result after result. True. Mohammed Khan says, hi guys, Blues fan here. We are actually so bad away from home, but you guys look classy, to be fair. Hopefully we get revenge at St Andrews. You probably will, actually. That was a possibility. We need those scrappy 1-0 away wins. Too many seasons, too many draws under Robbins. Matt, Eccles was superb yesterday. I haven't really rated Eccles, but that yesterday was probably one of the best games I've seen him in the sky blue. So fair play to him. He needed that. To be honest, it was a bit like when he came on against Sunderland, the playoff semi-final, and the game where he had the captain's armband. Was that Sheffield United, where it was like a man possessed, wasn't it? Hopefully EMC will be back, says Wayne Brewerton. Mark R, just looking at some stats, we're joint second in the league for clean sheets. That's the first, yes.
That's the key difference, really, isn't it? That's
well, it is. And I'm amazed that we're not letting goals in from open play. 1 goal in 7 matches. That's unheard of by us in recent seasons. You know, which is good, which means we seem to be doing the right things around the box. We just need to sharpen up from set plays. But I thought the keeper was a lot better yesterday as well. Coming out, looked confident.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've missed anybody out, have we?
No, decision making I think has been fantastic the last few games, and from the back four, I think they're making positive decisions and doing everything right, which is good. And obviously, I still think that new guy on the bench, the Wolf, still waiting to come on. He'll have to be patient because Frank can't really make any changes at the back anyway at the moment because they're playing so well. So this is where you've got to be patient, and hopefully he'll get his chance. Well, he will get his chance eventually. We know that. So,
well, there'll be suspensions, won't there? It's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Is that about it then? Shall we wrap the show up? Can we all?
I think so. On this happy occasion, we're second in the table.
Second unbeaten.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic when you look at that table. And I'm, for one, looking forward to going to see my boss tomorrow. I don't normally like seeing him on a Monday morning, but I've been looking forward to seeing him tomorrow because he's a Birmingham fan. So,
brilliant.
I can't wait. And Monday morning is not normally that positive for me, but I can't wait for tomorrow. But yeah, the Elephants go to the Lions' Den on Wednesday. Let's hope they trample all over them.
Yes. Elephants fear no one.
And come out positive with the 3 points. Next show, by the way, is Thursday, where we're previewing the...
No. Next show is Wednesday after the game at 10 o'clock.
We're going to have an after show after the Millwall game, sorry, yeah? What time's that?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, for about half an hour after. If you want to vent to your anger or vent to your pleasure, depending on how the result goes. And tune in then on Wednesday and get your comments on. And Claudia,
I'll have me Horlicks. Vicky will have her Ovaltine, won't you?
I will.
Well, I'm not going to Millwall, so I'm going to Sheffield Wednesday, so I might even join you on the show. So because I'm on early this week, so I will be out and about. So join us on Wednesday for the aftermath reaction, if you like.
I'm actually disappointed, Ken, because I mean we did some away midweek games last season, but I've run out of holidays now. That's the trouble.
Oh,
Wrexham's the last one I can do. But I just wish we were more local away games midweek. Or in fact, I'm missing midweek games at home. I love the floodlight and the floodlights at home midweek.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say you were missing it on dates with Ken to Hull.
that was fun.
It was, we had a chicken dinner. Well, I did. I don't know what Ken had. What did you have that night? Was it a pie or something? I don't know what it was.
I had a pie, yeah.
But no, I do miss those midweek games at home, and I don't think we've got too many, have we?
We haven't really, to be honest. No, I don't think. The next home game's Blackburn. That's a Saturday. Yeah, so we might have a couple. Yeah,
it's a shame. I like the floodlights. It's yeah.
And,
but yeah, it is a shame. But there you go. That's the way it goes. It's fixtures for you, isn't it? And then we can't help. It'd be nice to have a few more local games, but there you go. We're struggling there as well. Really.
I don't know about you guys. It may have cost the Blues fans £45, but I definitely got my money's worth on Saturday, so I'm happy.
The best chant of the day was I think it was when I was singing about £45 and you're 3-0 down.
Yeah, I know.
That went down.
I was disappointed with the Birmingham fans though. See, if that had been us, we'd have thought of something witty to sing back, and they just didn't bother. I think I was a bit disappointed. You've got to have a bit of backwards banter.
I listened to some of their podcasts, and one of the guys went, he just basically went, we got no comeback. They actually went, yeah, we've got no comeback. We're that bad.
Yeah.
Mick Kelly's put Vicky Claudio's not allowed to go to away games. Yeah, I know. My track record is appalling in recent seasons.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely shocking.
Yeah, you haven't.
Yeah,
but all records are there to be broken, of course. So
they are.
You never know. So our next live show after Wednesday, will be Thursday, where a show, and I might have a Sheffield Wednesday fan on, will we? Maybe to preview the Wednesday game.
Not our racist friend, that's for sure.
Not our friend that we had on years ago. No, he's barred. But there is a couple of interesting things to talk about the Sheffield game, because they're on about doing a pitch invasion, aren't you? Something that I've heard on the media.
We'll cover that Thursday, I think.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But hopefully that. But I know there'll be a load of protests planned for Sheffield Wednesday. They're going through a bit of a turmoil at the moment, obviously with their club owners. We know what it's like. We've been there, so we can vouch for that because we know what it's like. So I'm sure we'll be behind them on that situation. But let's hope we can take advantage on the pitch. Anyway, that's it then. We'll call it a night there and look forward to Wednesday night away at the Den, where hopefully we can get another 3 points and keep our amazing run to the season going forward. A very good night. Play up, Sky Blues.
Play up, Sky Blues.
Good night.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.